What's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you guys all the fragrances that I wore this week. I decided to pull out some fragrances in my collection that I haven't worn in a while. Plus when the weather gets warm in Jersey, the second it gets warm, I just pull out my summer fragrances. So I'm going to be showing you guys everything that I wore. Anyways, before we get into it, definitely go like, comment, and subscribe, as well as go follow me on social media. All my links should be down below, and let's go. The first fragrance I'm going to be talking about, this is Forever Red, and I have not worn this fragrance in so long. I don't know why. It came to my head and I said to myself, I have to wear it. So I'm not sure when they reformulated this, which I know, not reformulated, but they put it in different packaging. I'm not sure if it's still dyed red. Hopefully not, because the one thing about this fragrance, this is the old packaging, that if you spray it on white clothing, it actually shows. So that is annoying about it, but it is such a beautiful fragrance. I cannot even begin to explain, and it's so funny. In my beginning videos I talked about this and I said it smells like a sexy Swedish fish, and it literally does. It's stunning. It is so beautiful. It's sweet but sexy. It truly is a one-of-a-kind fragrance, and you actually need this in your life. I wish that they brought out a perfume in this. I feel like back in the day they did, but I'm not positive on that. But if they made this into a perfume, girl, please, I would literally buy like 10 bottles of it, because this is so good. The next fragrance is Grapefruit Frosé. I love this. It literally captures summer in a bottle. It's the most beautiful sense of tanginess, but also sweetness. It's literally like no other. And 2 summers ago, all I did was drink Frosé. Literally all I did. So anyways, sparkling grapefruit, frozen rosé, and sun splashed sugar, which makes sense because there is a great amount of sweetness, which is honestly needed in this fragrance, because grapefruit, you need some sweetness in it, unless it will go too tangy, especially along with the frozen rosé. Like, you need that sweetness added, and it is stunning. I'm obsessed with that. It just gives me summer vibes. You need it. You literally need it. Okay, this next one I've mentioned in literally every video since I've gotten it. So this is Velvet Petals Heat. I literally cannot talk about this without getting like giddy inside, because it's probably like my new favorite fragrance of all time. It is just, it's something else. So this has sugared iris and golden amber, and you guys know, like, the way Victoria's Secret does amber fragrances, I usually don't like amber romance. Nope, immediately no. But this fragrance has this element of sweetness. It's not overpowered by amber, it's just the right amount. I'm literally in love. I cannot even begin. I cannot. It's so stinking good. You have no idea. I'm just literally obsessed. It's so funny. I was called out in the comment section and they were like, Natalie phrases and how I say like so stinking good. Oh my god, my cats are crazy. And it's so funny because I remember when I first started my channel, I didn't want to curse on my channel, so I started off by using like so stinking good instead of the other way around, and it's just so funny that literally it has stuck on my channel. I'm not sure why they ever got rid of this packaging from 2 years ago, but this is Bahamas Passion Fruit and Banana Flower. Girl, you don't even know about it. You don't even know about it. I don't know why they changed the packaging. Like, last year's packaging was not it. I mean, it was okay, but this was so stunning that I could not like fathom why they would change it. This is the perfect amount of sweetness. The flower, the banana flower, does not smell like banana. Banana flower and banana is not the same thing, so definitely don't get it twisted. It's just the right amount of sweetness, slight little warmth in there, like very so slightly, but the passion fruit just brightens everything up. It's so sweet, so girly. It's your perfect daily day in the life scent all summer and all spring long. I just think it's a perfect fragrance to purchase, and I'm so excited for them to bring it out again because they usually do. Okay, next one is Key West Coconut Water and Melon, and it has a fake eyelash attached to it, so that's going over there. I think this is such an original fragrance. It has coconut water and melon, and it is just everything. The coconut water smells like coconut water. It's not like your artificial coconut, it is coconut water. The melon in here isn't overboard on the melon. I mean, you definitely pick it up, but it's not overboard because I would not like it at all if it was, you know, doing the most with the melon side of things. Oh, it also says saltwater waves, which makes sense because it's just the right amount of sweetness in there. It's not, you know, overbearing. I love how my animals decide to literally cause mayhem every time I film. Every time I film. So this next one is Waikiki Beach Coconut. Why I did pinkies up, I have no idea. This, again, I'm just whipping out the coconut fragrances. It's been nice in Jersey other than today. Well, it was nice today, but then it got kind of like gray outside. Jersey just gives me gray vibes. That's what it is. But every day has been pretty nice for the most part. Oh, everything. It's so funny. I actually bought this right before quarantine. So like literally 2 summers ago. And I would bring this to the beach all the time. I'm literally down to there. It was my go-to beach fragrance literally for the past 2 years. I didn't go to the beach last summer, but I would bring it in my pool bag. But it is a wonderful fragrance. Your daily day in the life. It literally just smells like summer, like beach house. It's everything. You need this in your collection. I'm so excited. They usually always bring that back out, so you guys can get your hands on that as soon as they come out with it. But please get this for your everyday scent. And honestly, it's such an intoxicating, amazing fragrance. You could wear that at night as well. Okay, this last one. This is Country Apple. The packaging, immediately no. But it's crazy how long that they've, you know, been bringing out this fragrance mist. Literally, this, I think, is one of their first fragrances. It's so good. But honestly, I don't know if they've repackaged it. Or reformulated it, I mean. I remember I had Country Apple in every packaging. In their old bottles, in their like triangular bottles. I've had it in every single packaging. And because this was like an OG Bath & Body Works fragrance. But I don't know, it smells a little bit different, less sweet than it used to, but I still love this. And it just gives me the perfect amount of freshness, great on a summer day or spring day when you just want to smell fresh. That little bit of sweetness, it's not overboard. You know that if you wear it, everyone's going to like how you smell around you, and it's not overbearing. So if you don't want to do the most, definitely wear Country Apple. It's always going to be a staple. I love it. It's not talked about as much here on YouTube, but it definitely needs to be. But anyways, that is everything that I wore this week. As you know, I love filming these videos. They're my favorite to film. It's like we're just chilling, hanging out. But anyways, I love you guys the absolute most. Of course, I want to leave you with a message. It's funny, most of the time I never plan my message. Today I'm going to be reading you guys a short verse out of the Bible, and I'm going to tell you how I relate it to my own life and how you guys can relate it to yours. So it says, although we will have tribulation, he has overcome the world. Although we will fall into various trials, we can count them as joy, knowing that trying of our faith is working patience in us. Although we will face tribulation, we glory in tribulation, knowing that through our suffering, the love of God will be shed abroad in our hearts. And I'm gonna explain to you guys how this has truly affected my life, and especially finding this verse today, and it's literally the verse of the day on this daily devotional app I have. When you are going through a lot in life, when you are going through things that are out of your control, that are unfair, it is so easy to lose faith in God, and it is so easy to lack patience because, you know, we're human, and sometimes when you're suffering for a year, 2 years, 3 years, time goes on, it gets, you know, even harder to keep the faith. Usually when you want a situation to change, you know, it's easy to have faith when it first begins. But once it, you know, starts getting long, your heartache is, you know, months and months and years, it can be really hard to not have patience. And the way I can relate it to a huge pivotal moment where I saw, you know, what faith truly is and having patience. Now, when my dad was dying, I always dreaded the day that he would die. I always was envisioning it and what I was going to do and how would I even go on, and I'd probably be screaming, you know, I'd probably be losing my mind if he passed in front of me or if he just died and I wasn't next to him. Now, I was blessed where my father passed on in front of me, but of course, you know, before he passed on, I witnessed him not being able to breathe, which is super scary. And so I remember when my dad's left lung started shutting down, I walked in the ICU. I already knew if my mom was calling me, then I had to, you know, get to the hospital immediately. So I knew. I had a feeling in my heart. I was like, it's time. Like, I just know. So I was crying in the elevator. My brother was parking the car. I was crying in the elevator. One of the nurses was walking me upstairs because I had to get there as soon as possible because things were getting really bad. And in the elevator, I wiped my tears. I said, if I'm going to walk in there and he can't breathe, I got to be strong for him. Because if I'm crying, then he's going to start freaking out even more, you know, and being more anxious than he already was when he was hyperventilating. So I went into the room. I put on a happy face. I wiped those tears. I acted strong. And I knew that that was probably going to be the last time my dad would even hear my voice. And so I was telling him, I was like, I love you, Dad. You know, you're going to fight through this, even though he ended up passing on. But he fought as hard as he could. And I was like, you know, I love you and we're going to get through this. I promise. You know, the doctor's going to take care of you. But God's greater than any doctor here. And when he ended up, literally probably like less than 8 minutes after he was hyperventilating and I got there, he went unresponsive, and I was the one who had to go get the doctor, and my mom in the hallway, because she was, you know, talking to the doctor, I had to go tell them that my dad went unresponsive, which was super scary. You know, I was trying to keep him going, but his body was giving out. And basically the main part of my story and what I really want to focus on is the last few hours. You know, the doctor asked us, you know, we can keep him alive, but he might be on a ventilator forever. Or as long as, you know, he is alive, he'll probably be on a ventilator, or, you know, we can let him go and we can give him medication, because he was at that point unresponsive completely, and we can give him medication to just slowly, you know, pass and be peaceful and not, you know, suffering while he passes. So as big of a decision that was, the three of us, you know, my mom, me, and my brother, we said it's time. Like, I don't want him to suffer. And in the next, I would say, I think it was 3 hours, that we were just waiting for all of his levels to go down so he could pass peacefully. You know, we were all sitting around, and I used to think of that moment as if I was screaming on the floor. I used to think of that moment as I won't be able to bear to take that pain. Like, how would I even get that strength, you know? Yeah, I love God, but I'm going to lose my mind. And it's so crazy because in those moments, of course, I was crying in the following hours, and I was just, you know, talking to my dad and telling him how much I loved him, and, you know, that I was going to be somebody, and just, you know, promising him so many things. But in his very last moment, the doctor came in and said, okay, you know, he's starting to pass on. And I had my head, I was laying next to him on the pillow, and I was holding his head, and I was smiling. His very last moments, I was smiling. I was so at peace. I can't explain God's presence in the room. I can't explain the peace that God gave me, and how much that truly, leaning on God and having faith in him. Although I said to my dad, when he was still, able to hear me, and I was like, God's stronger than any doctor in here, and he's going to take care of you. And although you would think, well, he didn't because your dad's not here, but he did. It was time for my dad to go, and that's what God was doing. He was taking care of my dad's heartache, taking care of his pain and suffering. So it's crazy in life. We always anticipate, the worst. We always anticipate, our, bad situations, and think of a million reasons how it's going to go bad and how we're not going to be able to handle it, and so many different things. But that's just the devil. That is just lies from the devil. I promise you, God will give you overwhelming peace, overwhelming comfort, even if life doesn't go your way. You just gotta trust in him and trust that he has a greater I love being able to speak, that he has a greater plan in the process that you're not capable of comprehending yet. I wanted to share that because, watching someone pass, especially, who has always taken care of you, one of your parents, it's of course, one of the hardest things that you'll ever do in your entire life. And I just happened to be really young going through it and being a caretaker. And I wanted to share that with you guys, like the actual personal, last moments, because I wanted to spread that if I could do it with God's glory and God's grace, then you could do it. If you just keep faith, you don't blame God. We have our days where we get upset, and that's okay. You're human. But just trust in him, and I promise you guys, don't let the devil waver your faith, because God's on your side regardless if you understand it right now. But anyways, I just wanted to tell you guys that I love you so dearly. I'm always here for you no matter what. If you guys need me, my DMs are always open. I love speaking to you down below. So if you want to spread any positivity down below, give me some video ideas, talk about your journey with God or times in your life that he has strengthened your faith, I would love to hear, because I'm sure a lot of people in the comments would love to read what you have to say, and I really care about what you guys have to say. But I love you, I love you, I love you. There are so many blessings in front of you. You just haven't looked hard enough yet. But I will see you guys in my next one.